Welcome to Specialized ECU Repair. In this video, we'll take you through the process of programming remote fobs for your Porsche 993. We'll start by explaining how the immobilizer and alarm system work together, what needs to be checked before beginning, and then walk you step by step through the programming process. If you follow this guide carefully, you'll be able to successfully program or adapt your remote fobs without hassle. So let's get started. Before we dive into programming, it's important to understand how the immobilizer system works. Your 993's immobilizer doesn't operate alone. It works in tandem with the alarm system. That means for programming to be successful, all the monitoring sensors controlled by the alarm system must be functioning correctly. If any of these sensors are faulty, the adaptation or programming process will fail. Let's go over these critical sensors one by one. Each door opening has a sensor in the door jamb that detects when the door is opened, signaling the alarm unit. If the door is closed, the switch remains inactive. To test, check if the interior light turns on when the door opens and press the switch to ensure it springs back properly. Mounted on the rear engine lid latch, this switch engages when the lid is closed, confirming it is securely shut. Similar to the rear lid lock, the front hood lock features a micro switch that signals whether the hood is properly closed and locked. A simple spring action switch, like the door contact switch, detects whether the glove box door is open or closed, signaling the alarm control unit and controlling the glove box light accordingly. These micro switches, built into the driver's and passenger's door lock actuators, determine whether the doors are locked or unlocked. Controlled electronically by the alarm unit, they also detect when the key is inserted and turned in the driver's door lock. The radio contact is a wire with a terminal connected to the radio housing cage. It is designed to trigger the alarm if the radio is removed or disconnected. If an aftermarket radio has been installed, ensure this wire is securely connected. Designed as both a warning and a status indicator, these LED lamps deter potential intruders while displaying the proper flashing pattern to show when the alarm system is armed or in the process of arming. Located at the bottom rear of the vehicle, the alarm horn produces a very loud sound pattern to alert when the alarm system is activated. With Porsche option M419, some vehicles had the rear seats removed and replaced with two storage compartments, each fitted with a sensor like the one in the dashboard glove box. For convertible models equipped with option M439, the alarm control unit checks the sensor input to confirm the top is closed before arming the alarm. As you can see, successful remote fob adaptation or programming requires all related components to be properly connected and synchronized. This list covers the alarm sensors found in most Porsche 993 models, though some may include exclusive options like infrared interior motion sensors, which must also function correctly. If any component is faulty, the car may not enter programming mode. It is crucial to check and resolve any issues beforehand. The 4-digit PIN code is a unique identifier that unlocks the immobilizer memory, allowing it to accept new remote coding transmitted via radio frequency. Entering an incorrect code or lacking the PIN will prevent the process from working. Every Porsche 993 equipped with an immobilizer system was assigned a unique 4-digit PIN code linked to the vehicle's VIN number and stored in the Porsche database. These codes were originally provided to the first original owner in a pouch containing the owner's manual and other documents, attached to the key code card. It's important to note that the key code is different from the immobilizer PIN code. The 4-digit PIN code was typically printed on a small white label with a barcode and the code displayed at the bottom. One label was given to the vehicle owner, while a duplicate remained attached to the original immobilizer module. Over time, as ownership changes, the key code car or immobilizer PIN may be lost. If the code is not found in the owner's manual pouch, the next option is to check the immobilizer box located under the driver's seat. However, be aware that a tamper-proof enclosure is installed over the engine ECU and immobilizer box to prevent theft of these critical components. The tamper-proof enclosure is secured with shear bolts, which can be removed by carefully using a Dremel tool to create a slot on the bolt head, allowing it to be unscrewed with a flathead screwdriver. Another method is to use a small, sharp chisel to lightly tap the bolt counterclockwise, loosening it for removal. These shear bolts were installed with light torque and will unscrew easily once the initial breakaway torque is overcome. For reinstallation, the shear bolts can be replaced with standard 10mm bolts. To avoid these steps, the registered owner can request the Immobilizer codes from a local Porsche dealership with proof of ownership. Most dealerships require these requests to be made in person, so it's best to consult with your local dealer for their specific process. One potential issue arises if the Immobilizer control unit has been replaced at some point. If the original unit failed and was swapped with a spare, but the new code label was never updated in the owner's manual, the stored code will not match the one in your possession. This mismatch can lead to frustration when attempting to put the car into programming mode. A telltale way to determine if the original Immobilizer unit is still installed in the vehicle is by checking under the driver's seat. Ensure that the tamper-proof plate is in place, and most importantly, that the shear bolts appear original and undisturbed. If you find yourself in a situation where the PIN code you have is incorrect, we offer services to retrieve the correct PIN code programmed inside your existing Immobilizer control unit. Before starting any adaptation or programming operation, ensure your car battery is fully charged and in good condition. Park the vehicle in a secure location with enough space to fully open the driver's side door. Have all remote fobs ready, preferably with fresh batteries. Keep in mind that when adapting a new remote, all existing functional remotes must be present for the process. Since timing and sequence are crucial, it's best to practice or rehearse the steps with the instructions handy to ensure a smooth process. These steps are simple, and the procedure is easy to complete as long as all connected alarm system components are functional and the correct PIN code is used. Begin the learning mode process by ensuring you have all remotes on hand and the adaptation instructions available. Close the doors, front lid, and rear lid, then press your fob to arm the alarm system. Pay attention to the LED lamps on the doors. Once the system is armed, the LEDs will first flash rapidly and then transition to a slower pattern. If the LEDs do not slow down and instead keep flashing in a double pattern, stop and check that all alarm sensors are operating correctly. If installed, remove the driver's side door lock handle cap, insert the key into the lock cylinder, and perform the following sequence. Unlock, lock, unlock, then open the door within 5 seconds. Insert the key into the ignition switch and turn it to the ignition on position within 10 seconds. The Immobilizer lamp will turn on, then off, after about 15 seconds or less. Once the lamp goes off, turn the ignition off, then on again. The Immobilizer lamp will start flashing, confirming that the car is now in learning mode. You have 5 seconds after the lamp starts flashing to begin entering the first digit of the PIN code. At this stage, the turn signal indicators on the tachometer, exterior turn signals, and stop lamps will begin flashing. This is normal and confirms the car is in learning mode. Important: since the key is in the on position, each digit of the 4-digit PIN code requires cycling the ignition switch, off, on for each digit. For demonstration purposes, we will use 1, 4, 2, 5 as the PIN code example. Important: if any digit in your PIN code is a 0, it should be treated as the number 10. Turn the ignition off, then on 1 time for the first PIN digit, and wait for the Immobilizer lamp to turn back on. Turn the ignition off, then on 4 times for the second PIN digit, and wait for the Immobilizer lamp to turn back on. Turn the ignition off, then on 2 times for the third PIN digit, and wait for the Immobilizer lamp to turn back on. Turn the ignition off, then on 5 times for the fourth PIN digit, and wait for the Immobilizer lamp to begin flashing, confirming that the correct PIN has been entered and matches the Immobilizer memory. Now press and hold the button on the remote fob while observing the LED on the door lock. It should start flashing while you press the button. Keep the button pressed consistently. Once the first remote is adapted, take the next remote and repeat the process. Press and hold the button while ensuring the door LED flashes, confirming successful transmission of the remote's code. Repeat the same steps for any additional remotes, up to 4 in total. After programming all remotes, turn the ignition off, exit the vehicle, and close the door. Test each remote by pressing the button and verifying that the doors lock and unlock. This completes the remote programming process. If your alarm is triggered and the horn starts sounding, you can silence it by pressing the button on any programmed remote fob. If none of your remotes respond, it's a good idea to contact us so we can properly diagnose the issue. Whether the fob itself isn't working or the immobilizer isn't responding to the remote signal. Here's a simplified list of the most common issues you may encounter when attempting to put the car into learning mode or adapt the remotes. If your car does not enter learning mode, it is likely due to one of the alarm sensors not being detected. To test the system, arm the alarm and then try opening the doors, for example, by reaching through an open window. You can also use a screwdriver to manually lock the front hood latch and check if the alarm triggers when the hood release lever is pulled. Additionally, testing the glove box sensor can help confirm that all alarm components are functioning properly. If you suspect any component may be faulty, consult the wiring diagram for your 993 alarm system and test all alarm sensors to ensure they are operating correctly. Visit our website for valuable resources, including the Porsche 993 alarm system wiring diagram, to assist with troubleshooting. Internal faults within the immobilizer control unit can lead to functionality issues. A common problem in these units is the leakage of electrolytic fluid from aging electrolytic capacitors. Since these capacitors have a limited lifespan, their degradation over time can prevent the immobilizer from functioning properly or entering learning mode. Another potential reason the immobilizer may fail to enter learning mode is a worn or faulty ignition switch. If the ignition switch does not engage precisely each time the key is turned, it can disrupt the immobilizer's learning process. A properly functioning ignition switch should feel firm and not excessively loose. If you suspect the switch is faulty, replacing it before proceeding with further troubleshooting is recommended. If the key lock cylinder microswitches are defective, the immobilizer will not be able to detect whether the vehicle is locked or unlocked when using the exterior driver's side door handle key lock. This malfunction can lead to issues with the immobilizer system, potentially preventing proper vehicle access or security functions. It's possible that your remote fobs may be experiencing issues. Keep in mind that simply observing the red LED light on the remote fob is not a reliable indication that it is transmitting the correct frequency. If you obtained remotes from an unknown source, they might not be compatible with your immobilizer system. Remote fobs operate at different frequencies, such as 315 MHz and 433 MHz, which are not interchangeable. Ensuring that your remote matches the correct frequency for your vehicle's immobilizer system is crucial for proper functionality. We hope this guide helps you successfully program your remotes for your Porsche 993. If you encounter any difficulties during the process, we're here to help. For your convenience, we provide a free instruction guide on our website, which you can access through the link in the video description. Visit ecudoctors.com for more information on pin retrieval, immobilizer diagnostics and repair, or to order your key fobs. If you need further assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. Our expert customer service team is ready to help. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Porsche electronic solutions. We are going to go adapt these remotes using the pin code from the car, and this is going to be uninterrupted. Number one thing is to press the fob and watch for the flashing pattern that slows down. Once it slows down, you're going to go and insert the key on the door lock, then unlock, lock, and unlock. Open the door, then get inside the car, put the key into the ignition, and open the ignition switch. Then wait until the lamp goes out. Once the IMMO lamp goes out, you're going to do one more cycle of the key, and then the IMMO lamp will start flashing. Right after the IMO lamp starts flashing, we're going to insert the first code, which is number 1. Cycle the ignition one time, then wait for the IMO lamp to come back on. Then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then wait for the lamp to come back on. Then number 2. 1, 2, then wait for the lamp to come back on. Then number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The IMO light will start flashing. Now the vehicle is on learning mode and we can adapt the remotes. Grab the first remote and press it until the LED on the door starts flashing. Then the second one. Press the fob until you can see the flashing pattern on the door LED again. You can remove the key from ignition switch after you finish adapting all available remotes, then confirm that all remotes can lock and unlock the electric door locks. These steps finish the adaptation process. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.